Yes, and welcome to our internet listeners and our podcast listeners across the 50 states. You're on Real Estate Mortgage Shop. I'm your host, Joe Garner. I'm a mortgage loan officer. Connect with me at jogarner.com. Our topic today, it's August 8th, 2026. Avoid surprises, smart home inspections, and smart mortgage decisions. Thank you to attorneys Shelley Rothman and Rob Drawn of Griffin Clift, Everton, and Mashmeyer Law Firm for sponsoring this episode. And when you're ready to buy a home or refinance one, call Rob and Shelley for the title work and closing, 901-752-1133. But Jon Roy, he is one of the owners of Pillar to Post Home Inspectors. They are a national inspection franchise serving Shelby County, Tipton County, Fayette County, Hardeman County, McNairy County, Tennessee, and a whole lot of multiple other counties in East Tennessee and North Mississippi. Welcome back to Real Estate Mortgage Shop Studio. You know, John, you take a down-to-earth approach helping these first-time home buyers clearly understand the home's condition. And, John, you also can do a pre-listing inspection so that the seller knows the condition of the property so that both the buyer and seller can move forward with confidence. Talk a little bit about yourself and what you do, John.
Absolutely. So glad to be here. Good morning, everybody. My name's Jon Roy, and as you said, I'm owner of Pillar to Post Home Inspectors. We do quite a bit. We do inspections for buyers and sellers. We do virtual open houses. We handle termite inspections, sewer scope, mold, well and water. We can do radon testing.
Well, I didn't know you did all of that.
We'll watch your kids when you go out. No, we won't do that. But, yeah, you can contact me at 901-413-3943, and we're pretty quick to respond.
Well, you know, the home inspection does avoid a lot of surprises. The pre-listing one helps avoid surprises in the middle of the contract negotiation. Right. But what we say in the mortgage office, it's always good to inquire, inspect, and innovate. So are you preparing to get a mortgage on a home you're about to buy or refinance? Well, if the mortgage company requires an appraisal on the house, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, it's good to inquire, inspect, and innovate before spending your money on the appraisal. For example, what needed repairs can you see in the home? If you're going to go buy a home, can you walk through, and I'm going to give you a list of some repairs. If you see them, you're going to need to make sure that you arrange in the contract who is going to fix them. So we got to find out who's going to pay for it. Will the seller agree to pay for getting all those particular repairs completed? Or how much will you need to pay for the repairs? But inquire. The home condition can create obstacles to getting the value needed or getting an approval from the mortgage company's underwriting department. For example, appraisers notate repairs that affect the structure, affect the security, or the sanitation of the home. Mortgage companies, and an appraiser is different than a home inspector. An appraiser is assigned by mortgage company to go out and do the value, but they look at the condition of the property when they're doing that. A home inspector, you guys drill in a lot deeper, don't you?
Right. We have trained eyes to really go through the house, look at all the systems, making sure that they're working as they were intended, making sure that layers of safety are also addressed. Just making sure that everything is in its right place, and we inform the buyer or the seller,
right? Whoever hires you,
yes, of some of the issues, so they can be addressed. And
mortgage companies do not require an inspection. They most of the time do require an appraisal, so keep that in mind. So mortgage companies do require repairs to be done that affect structure, security, sanitation of the home. That was inquire. Inspect. Let's talk about inspect.
Yes.
Repairs that affect the structure include rotted wood, foundation problems, roof leaks, or even missing shingles can be flagged. Peeling paint, that's especially for houses built before 1978. Broken siding, electrical, plumbing, heating problems, or missing components or it doesn't work right, these are all major things that you want to work out who's going to repair them. Broken locks or open access to the house from outside. I know some people do that. They have the attic entrance out in some utility room that's not even locked. That's a no-no.
Security.
Yes. Repairs pertaining to the home sanitation would include stuff like drainage problems, a faulty water supply, septic issues, mold. I mean, that goes without saying. But most underwriters want these troubled areas corrected before closing. But there are some workarounds when the items can't be fixed before closing. We can talk about that. But innovate. Here, let's talk about innovate. When the repairs must be fixed before closing, the buyer and seller negotiate who's going to pay for those repairs. If the buyer pays, the mortgage company has to verify, of course, that the buyer has enough money in the bank to pay for that and their closing cost. And if the seller pays, then he or she cannot pay the buyer a repair allowance. Those were real popular back in the 80s and 90s, repair allowance. Oh, we're going to give you a carpet allowance. Oh, we're going to give you a decoration allowance and all of that. You can't do that on your traditional mortgages today on the contract. The seller could agree and put money into an escrow account to pay a third-party vendor to do the repairs if underwriting will allow the repair to be done after closing. For weather-related stuff, a lot of times they will. There are some other exceptions, like in the Memphis area, we allow sometimes the air conditioning units to be put in the day of closing, things like that, or right after the closing. But innovate, you need to innovate on that. And if you're dealing with a high dollar amount of repairs, we can explore a special renovation repair loan program that can help you where you can do the repairs after closing. If you're a real estate investor buying rental property, you can get a temporary hard money loan that will cover the cost to buy the house and do the repairs. And then that's an expensive loan. So once you're done with the repairs, you're going to want to come to me and let me do a traditional or a DSCR type permanent loan that's a lot cheaper so that you can make a profit each month. But Jon Roy, you're owner of Pillar to Post Home Inspectors. Talk about some ways that we can avoid negative surprises with a home inspection.
Well, if you're going into a home inspection, whether you're the buyer or seller, definitely walk the house. Look for the little things that caulking, maybe paint peeling, those kind of things. But really, a home inspector is going to find, we've got trained eyes, we're going to find things that you're not. I don't suggest you open the electrical panel.
Right.
Let's not do that. Let's leave that to us, and let's look for some of those, maybe there's surprises there. But when we're talking about a pre-listing or what we call market-ready inspection, if a seller handles that or goes that direction, they can find some of the issues in their house, and it gives them the luxury of time to be able to figure out what they're going to do. Maybe they can get the better bid to get that something fixed, rather than the worst case scenario thought process where that bid is quite a bit more expensive than it really has to be.
In other words, if you do a pre-listing inspection, John, you have it's going to come up. It's better to know now than wait for the buyer to do an inspection and the whole deal fall apart.
Exactly.
But if you know ahead of time, you have time to call and get bids and get your better deal. Where if you wait till the buyer does their home inspection and you're 2 weeks before closing, you may not have the luxury of getting the best price on the repair.
And it'll eliminate some drama at the back end. Yes. That's a crunch time under your traditional transactions. It is, and sometimes what we find can really put a lot of pressure on all parties. And if you want to eliminate some of that drama and really have a straightforward transaction, I think it's the way to go.
I do too.
Yeah, it's not as well received as we would like it, because you bring up to a lot of agents, you say the word disclosure. Well, it's going to come. It's going to come up.
It's going to come up because, first of all, the buyer's probably going to do an inspection, and then you're going to be under the time gun to get it done. If not that, sometimes if it's really obvious, an appraiser that the mortgage company sends out is going to notate it on the appraisal.
Yep.
And now, like to your point, John, now you're under the gun to try to get something done. It's not that you're getting away from having to do it. It's just that you're not going to have as much time to deal with getting it done if you wait.
And you may not get the best bid.
Right.
Because you're shooting for time rather than, best quality work in your own time.
Right. So get a pre-listing agreement. And how do we contact you, John?
You can call me directly at 901-413-3943.
And that's Jon Roy. He is owner of Pillar to Post Inspectors here in the Memphis area, but he also works in multiple counties in West Tennessee, multiple counties in East Tennessee, and North Mississippi. And you're on Real Estate Mortgage Shop. I'm Joe Garner, your host. I'm a mortgage officer. I can help you here in the Mid-South or anywhere in the country. And we help you find the right mortgage that you can get bragging rights on it, and we make that mortgage process easy. Connect with me today at jogarner.com. When we come back, we're going to be hearing more from Jon Roy, owner of Pillar to Post Home Inspectors, and we're going to be sharing with you some good information if you're thinking about buying a house or listing your house for sale. So stay tuned. We'll see you guys back in just a moment.
Real Estate Mortgage Shop provides general information, not an offer to lend. Joe Garner, Talk Shop. Real Estate Mortgage Shop does not endorse 100% of the information covered on Real Estate Mortgage Shop. Consult with your certified advisors before acting on any information given on Real Estate Mortgage Shop. Joe Garner is a licensed mortgage loan officer, NMLS 757308, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Hi, I'm Brandy Spicer with Howling Wolf Bookkeeping. You're listening to Real Estate Mortgage Shop. And now back to your host, Joe Garner.
Okay, it's time for comic queries, and you probably are going to guess the answer before John and I do, but let's just see if you can. So now these queries, it takes time, and you have to answer these riddles. You have to be really smart, or you have to must have had more than one cup of coffee this morning. So John, I think you've got our first riddle.
Yes. Let's see. I have keys but no locks. I have a space but no room. You can enter but can't go outside. What am I?
I already know what that is. It's a keyboard.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. All right. Let's see how smart you are, John.
Uh-oh.
Mary's mother had 4 children. April, May, and June were the first 3. What's the name of the 4th child?
Well, it's got to be Mary.
Yes. You're so smart.
Mary.
See? There you go. You see how smart we are? Our listeners are laughing, John. But today on Real Estate Mortgage Shop, we're talking about avoid surprises, smart home inspections, and smart mortgage decisions. I'm your host, Joe Garner. I'm a mortgage loan officer for your home purchase or a mortgage refinance that you can brag about. We can help you find the right mortgage product and make that process easy on a traditional mortgage special program or outside of the box mortgage program. Connect with me at jogarner.com. But we've got Jon Roy, owner of Pillar to Post Inspectors in the house. How do we contact you, John?
Yes, it's 901-413-3943. You can call me directly.
Well, our producer, Helen Hazard, is telling us that you have a very happy customer on the phone. We got Brad Beal. He's a realtor with Craw-like. Is that right?
Yes.
And Brad Beal, we're so glad to have you on Real Estate Mortgage Shop, sir. I think you had some things you wanted to say about Jon Roy.
Yeah, well, thank you guys so much for having me on. And first of all, John, you never cease to amaze me because I must either be an idiot or highly coffee deficient right now because I was stumped at that riddle. So again, you always amaze me, John, but you just went one step further, so I'm impressed.
Very nice.
Yeah, man. But no, I honestly, I can't say enough good things about John. And I'm not getting paid to say this. I'll tell you that right now. But I always give credit where it's due. And just his willingness to go the extra mile. I'll give you a quick, for instance, really quick. We had a listing the other day, and the buyers were doing their final walkthrough in East Memphis on their final walkthrough, they had already had their home inspection, and they could not get the fireplace to turn on. So obviously me and my mom said, okay, well, it's obviously a user error, so we'll go over there and turn it on and make sure everything's good. We couldn't figure the dang thing out, and so we called John. We didn't know where else to go. It was the day before closing. We knew we couldn't get a fireplace company or a contractor out there in time, so Mom just called John. I kid you not, within 5 minutes, this man was there, got the fireplace working, did a full tutorial of how to turn it on for the fire, all that for free. And I was like, oh, my gosh, this guy. I told Mom, I said, we can't use anybody else from now on. This is our guy.
Well, it was my pleasure doing that, yes.
Oh, my goodness. Well, Brad Beal, I've worked with your mom, Pam, and
Yeah.
you guys are super, and I just want to give you a big kudos for some of your very creative, very entertaining social media posts. If you haven't checked out Brad Beal and Pam Beal, their social posts, they're fun, they're informative too.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. We have a lot of fun with it for sure.
Well, all right. Well, I'm just going to give you a shameless plug. How do we contact you, Brad?
Yeah. So either go to our Facebook page, the Beal Team. You can check out our content there. My phone number is 901-305-2635. And so I always pride myself, my phone being on me 24/7 and surrounding ourselves with the best vendors and best people in the business. And that's why we're very thankful to have John aboard and help us out and really take good care of our clients. So.
Thank you, Brad. I know you and your mom, Pam, are going to be out there helping some people with buying houses and listing houses today. But thank you for being on Real Estate Mortgage Shop.
Hey, well, I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all so much. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, Brad. We appreciate it, and really highly recommend the Beal Team for your high-end transactions or even your more traditional ones. They will walk you through it professional.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we were going pretty good there about avoiding surprises with that pre-listing inspection, and we had talked about the fact that as a buyer, mortgage companies do not require you to get an inspection. We always advise you to get an inspection. We do, a lot of times, mortgage companies will require an appraisal. They're two different things. The inspector drills in a lot deeper and can help you avoid surprises that may have been missed otherwise.
Yeah, and I really highly suggest if you're especially a motivated seller, a market-ready inspection, that's what we call that pre-listing, really can help. I'll even go as far as say can help a home sell faster and for more money. The inspection can help through transparency. Buyers aren't stepping into a mystery box, right? They can offer more confidently, and they may even compete a little bit more aggressively because the transaction will be straightforward. Again, they're really eliminating that drama and those surprises in that short amount of time on the end. So that's really a great way to look at it. As far as being able to sell faster, a particular pillar-to-post home inspection will involve marketing advantages. We do a 360 virtual tour. With one of our packages, you can get not just the 360 virtual tour, but measured floor plans. So it's a virtual open house. You can send that out. You can eliminate the not-so-serious buyers when you use these tools that we have.
That's incredible.
I know. Our software changes a little bit, and we even feature home highlights. So if you have whether it be location, maybe interstate access, maybe a school district, maybe you want to be isolated in the countryside, that's all can go into home highlights. Special rooms, renovations of the house, things that you've done, bonus rooms maybe. The pool, the beautiful security door, whatever, is some really nice things about the house.
You said something earlier about for every $1,000 of perceived defect, a buyer will ask for $3,000 to $5,000 in extra closing costs or extra help from the seller because they don't know what it's going to cost.
Right.
But if you already know what it is and you already know what it costs, that could save the seller quite a bit of what the buyer's going to be asking them. And
that's a great example of how that house can sell for more money. Because you have the luxury of time, luxury of getting the right bids to fix it, and the buyer is going to ask for that worst case scenario bid to come off the listing price. So that it's going to be a great tool to use, very smart way to go with it.
Right. Knowledge is power, and it can also save you money if you're a buyer or, in this case, a seller.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's other tools that we have that goes along with it that the seller can offer the buyers. One thing is the pillar to post home manual, where you will have all the information about all the equipment in the house.
You're on Real Estate Mortgage Shop. I'm Joe Garner, your host. I'm a mortgage loan officer. You can call or text me 901-482-0354, 901-482-0354. We have Jon Roy, owner of Pillar to Post Inspectors in the house. How do we contact you, John?
It's 901-413-3943. That's me directly.
You're listening to mortgage expert Joe Garner, author of Choosing the Best Mortgage, The Quickest Way to the Life You Want. And she has a golden nugget from her book. You can order Joe's book on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Hey, Joe, if someone is self-employed, can you show them how to get more qualified income for their loan?
A good mortgage officer, we know how to start at the back of the tax return and move forward to the front. We know what expenses we can add back to income for qualifying purposes.
Order the book today. You'll be glad you did.
Hi, this is Ed Hill with Masters Roofing, Memphis, Tennessee, and you're listening to Real Estate Mortgage Shop. Now back to your host, Joe Garner.
It's time to test your Memphis trivia. We're going to play a little game called Did You Know? And John, I think you've got the question for us, maybe even some hints.
Let's begin. So, in the 1970s, auto part manufacturers strictly prohibited the relationships with local mechanics and jobbers. When this company tried to buy inventory, manufacturers forced them into standard retail contracts with high wholesale pricing and strict territory limits. This meant the company could not get the deep discounts needed to sell more and increase profits.
So this must be a retail store headquartered in Memphis, Tennessee?
Maybe so.
Okay.
Maybe so. I got another hint.
Yeah.
Okay. To break out of this trap, this company's leadership executed a brilliant contractual pivot. They stopped trying to negotiate standard retail buyer contracts and instead leveraged their growing capital to act their own warehouse distributor. This attention to detail in the contracts completely changed the economics of DIY auto repair.
Auto repair, okay.
Yeah, they could suddenly sell parts to the public at prices previously reserved only for the commercial garages. What is the name of this Memphis company?
I already know what it is. It's AutoZone.
Of course.
And I remember... I'm telling my age. I remember when Pitt Hyde opened it in 1979. It was called Auto Shack.
Oh, my gosh.
It's AutoZone.
Yep.
Good deal. Okay. Well, today on Real Estate Mortgage Shop, we're talking about avoid surprises, smart home inspections, and smart mortgage decisions. I'm your host, Joe Garner. I am a mortgage officer. Let me be on your home buying journey as your lender or your refinance journey. We can find the right mortgage product and make that mortgage process easy on a traditional loan, a special program, or an outside-of-the-box mortgage program if you need it. Connect with me today. It's easy, jogarner.com. We have Jon Roy. He is owner of Pillar to Post Inspectors in the house. And John, how do we contact you?
It's 901-413-3943. Call me directly.
Okay, we were talking about repairs because we had the home inspector in the house. There is one thing I didn't get a chance to say. If you're a seller and you're trying to sell your house, sometimes things happen just at the most inopportune times, like a big storm comes through and you have storm damage or an ice storm burst pipes right before you get ready to sell a house. I've had that happen to me personally, John.
Not cool.
Well, how do you deal with home repairs if you don't have any money right now to spend on those repairs? You may not have any equity in the house if you're not trying to sell it, or maybe you are trying to sell it, but you don't have any money until you sell the house. Here are some ideas. If the repairs are due to storm damage, sudden burst of pipes, or something that a homeowner's insurance policy would cover, I would suggest you call your insurance agent. Call your local agent first, though, instead of the 1-800 number, because the agent can advise you based on your policy whether it's even worth filing a claim and risking your insurance costs going up. Here's another one. Do you have a home warranty policy? You may have forgotten about it. The home warranty may pay for some of those repairs for a small service fee. Some of my mortgage clients own other homes with quite a bit of equity in them, and if there's not enough equity in the home that needs repair, we can look at maybe refinancing one of your other properties to get enough cash to take care of the repair on the other house, especially if it's really large. And there's closing cost involved with refinancing a first mortgage, though. But call me and we can compare the terms. Borrowing against a retirement fund or other investments, another option if it's a fairly large repair. Family gifts, don't forget those. Just be nice to your family. You never know when you're going to need them. But I have a few more rabbits to pull out of the hat if these options I've already shared with you don't work. You can call me directly, 901-482-0354. But let's pivot over and talk about the top 3 rules for avoiding negative surprises when you're deciding on a mortgage. Maybe you're thinking about buying a home or refinancing. Number 1, call me first before you run out and pay off all your debt. Or make a major purchase. Don't make a major purchase before you call me. I'm like your mortgage coach, and we can look and see where you can get your credit scores the highest, spending the least amount of money, and because more money in the bank is more important, John, than just having a really low income to debt ratio. So don't run out and pay off all the debts first. Don't make a major purchase. Come see your mortgage officer. Come see me first. And we can play strategy and get you a smart mortgage. Number 2, determine your true income versus your true debts and obligations. You really want to know what you're spending and what you make. And believe it or not, we don't. Most people don't. And when you go in there and you review your last, say, 6 months bank statements, credit card statements, you look at your pay stub after all the deductions, you're going to be shocked at how much money you spend on stuff you don't even need for people you hardly even know in some cases. You're going to be shocked at how much less money you bring in versus what your hourly pay is. But if you know these things, you can do something about it. Same with the home inspection, the pre-listing inspection that John was talking about. You know ahead of time what you need to do to make your situation better. There are all kinds of tools: bartering, substitute one product or service that you enjoy, that makes your life happy. Just substitute it for something else that makes you happy.
This is great advice. Just to know that every transaction you make is a paper trail, and to have a coach, if you're about to go into a real estate transaction, way before that transaction happens, is incredibly important.
It is. And not only that, but when you go to closing, you know you made the best decision ever, and you can carry that good feeling the whole time you own the house or have the mortgage. The third rule is explore more than one loan program with an experienced mortgage officer. This is really fun because I want to hear your story. I want to know what do you need today, but where are you going to be 5 years from now? Are you going to retire in 5 years? Have you got to put a child through college in the next 5 years? What have you got going on? Because there are certain tweaks that we can make to normal financing that will really save you a lot of money or put you in a position to make a lot of money in the future. And that's another reason when you go to closing, you can sign with confidence and walk out with your shoulders held high, knowing, hey, I did the extra work to make this deal work for me. And I think about this lady. Her name is Lindsay. It's not her real name, but she had just graduated college. She had a business degree. She landed a pretty good job right here in town. She felt pretty certain she was going to stay in the area for the next 3 to 5 years, but if she had an opportunity to be transferred with a big promotion, she didn't want to be tied down. She didn't want to be stuck. And she was renting. She wanted to buy a home, but she's like, if I buy a home, Joe, I'm going to be stuck. So our job as a loan officer, and I worked with the realtor on that, was to find multiple possible exit strategies for her that would be profitable so that she would not feel stuck. Okay, so whatever your situation is, it may be different than Lindsay's. Lindsay didn't want to feel stuck. She had a good job. She was renting. She wanted to buy. Yours may be a different situation, but for her, the agent and I got together. The agent showed her properties in neighborhoods that traditionally went up in value. They, not just a spurt, not just a flash in the pan, but traditionally went up in value. So then in 2 or 3 years, if she got an offer to get a better job somewhere else, she needed to sell, and presumably the property would have gone up in value so that she would be able to sell with a small profit. The other thing I did was I put her into an FHA government loan that had an assumable clause on it, so that if she had to sell quick, she maybe got a job somewhere else, and she had to move. Maybe the market for home sales was terrible at the time she got ready to move. Maybe, we don't know. But even if it was, and she had an assumable loan on there, somebody could come in and assume that loan. They would have to qualify with their mortgage company, but it would be a lot easier, quicker process than trying to buy the house across the street. So that was another one. And the other thing that the realtor did was get her in a neighborhood that had strong rental too, so that if the market wasn't good, she didn't want to sell the house right away, she could rent it and still make a profit.
Yeah. The great advice, Joe, to have you as a coach, or just to have a good mortgage officer as a coach this whole process is outstanding, and definitely a way to go if you want to be confident through the whole process and you want to end the transaction on a good note. And I had a buyer not too long ago thinking she had gotten a 30-year mortgage, and she figured she would be in the house for 30 years. She goes, I don't know if I want to be here for 30 years. And even I, as the inspector, said, it doesn't mean you have to be here 30 years.
That's right.
Yes.
We tell people, if you don't like the mortgage rate right now, marry the house, buy the house, get the price locked in, because prices continue to go up. But you can always refinance later if the mortgage rates go down. So you're not married to the mortgage.
True. Great advice. Yeah.
All right. Well, I love talking about this. I'm going to give you some more tips later on in this show before we go off the air. But we're talking about avoid surprises, smart home inspections, and smart mortgage decisions. I'm Joe Garner. I'm a mortgage officer. I can help you here in the Mid-South or anywhere in the country on your home purchase or your refinance. I want to hear your story. Let's get you some financing you can brag about. Connect with me at jogarner.com. We have Jon Roy, owner of Pillar to Post Inspectors, in the house. How do we contact you, John?
901-413-3943.
Hey, keep hanging out with us. Hey, go to jogarner.com, subscribe. You'll get our weekly podcast and blog post. We'll see you guys back in just a moment.
I'm Troy McDonald.
And I'm Lynn McDonald.
With the Aaron McDonald Insurance Agency.
From Memphis, Tennessee. And you're listening to the Real Estate Mortgage Shop. And now back to your host, Joe Garner.
Okay, this story from Insights and Inspiration is called The Brilliant Pivot. In 1955, the owner of a small recording studio found himself holding a contract for a rising 20-year-old star named Elvis Presley. To move this star onto the national stage would have bankrupted the small recording studio owner. The studio owner reviewed his contract position and made a brilliant pivot. He negotiated the sale of Elvis's contract to RCA Victor and demanded $35,000 plus $5,000 to cover some other stuff and back royalties. And that was a lot of money in 1955. By altering that single contractual arrangement, Sam Phillips of Sun Records secured the funds to launch the national careers of other iconic Sun record artists, including Johnny Cash, Carl Perkins, and Jerry Lee Lewis. This brilliant, smart move with this contract made Sam Phillips a multi-millionaire. And for you, if you're thinking about buying a home, you're in a contract, trying to work out that contract, get the right mortgage, avoid negative surprises and make some brilliant pivots of your own when it comes to buying real estate. Pay attention to details in the contract. Think outside the box and follow the advice of your experienced realtor, mortgage loan officer. Getting a home inspection can give you vital information to negotiate your home purchase deal. But let's talk about what you want to accomplish with your mortgage. I can help you find the right mortgage. We'll make that process easy. Connect with me 901-482-0354, jogarner.com. Today on Real Estate Mortgage Shop, we're talking about avoid surprises, smart home inspections, and smart mortgage decisions. I'm your host, Jo Garner. I'm a mortgage officer for your home purchase or refinance. You can brag about, connect with me, jogarner.com. And we have in our studio, we have Jon Roy, who's owner of Pillar to Post Home Inspectors, and they can help you avoid negative surprises. They can help you with negotiating points or even avoiding renegotiations if you're a seller. How do we contact you, Jon?
Absolutely. It's 901-413-3943.
We're going to do something we like to do every week. That's the real estate business. A real estate tip. You've got a real estate tip.
Yes, I do. So when you order the inspection, ask plenty of questions. Try to be there. It's going to do you nothing but good. You're going to really see the whole scope of the house. We can show you pictures, but pointing out something is going to do much more justice than showing a picture. You may have a house that has a different system. You may move into a house that has no gas. You're going to think, how am I going to stay warm? Well, maybe it has a heat pump, and I can explain that to you and what it is and how it works, how efficient it is. And so there may be, that's just one example of, could be plenty, that you move into a house that's got a different feature, and we're going to help you out with that.
All right. Well, I've got a tip, too, on how to avoid negative surprises on your mortgage. When your mortgage officer asks you for supporting documents, get them to your mortgage officer within 24 to 48 hours. We can find a lot of things that need to be fixed and give us time to fix them. Number 2, don't change jobs. Don't change the way you're paid on your job during the mortgage process. Don't move money around from one account to the other. Make sure that you can show a paper trail on any large deposits that go into your bank during that mortgage process. Don't open any new credit. Don't even allow anyone to do a credit inquiry. I mean, just say no. Number 5, don't ever give wiring instructions to anyone over the phone, text, email. Go to the title company to get the wiring instructions, or call the number of the title company that's listed on your home purchase contract. A lot of fraud out there, so a way to avoid negative surprises. But we want to thank our sponsors, and one of our major sponsors is TalkShop. TalkShop offers free education and networking to anyone interested in real estate, business, health, and wellness. They have a meeting every Wednesday, 9 o'clock Central, and this week coming up, which would be August the 12th, I believe, Independent Planning Group's conference room. It's going to be on the 8th floor of the Clark Tower at 5100 Poplar Avenue. Thank you, Ben Hunter, outstanding financial professional at Independent Planning Group, for having been TalkShop's location sponsor. TalkShop's new location sponsor, starting the end of August of 26, will be One City Church at 120 Northeast Yates Road in Memphis. One City Church is committed to proving love works in Memphis and beyond. Talk Shop on Wednesday, August 12th. Of course, that will be at the Clark Tower at 9 o'clock. It's Be Prepared to Weather the Storm. And WMC TV Chief Meteorologist Ron Childers, he does a fabulous job with this, and you will walk out feeling good and feeling prepared. So don't miss Talk Shop. For more information about Talk Shop, go to talkshoppe.com. TalkShop says thank you to Zach Roberts of ZR Creations Digital Marketing Company. Connect with Zach for your digital marketing at ZACH. That's Zach at ZRCreations.com. TalkShop thanks Tiffany Thornburg Moore of Empowered with Purpose Solutions for your Medicare and health benefits. And if you're wanting to make smart decisions choosing your health benefits or Medicare plan, contact Tiffany Thornburg Moore of Empowered with Purpose Solutions, and she'll help you out. 901-643-5400. Make your plan. Let's work your plan if the deal works for you today. Let's do it today. Subscribe, and you'll get our weekly podcast with show notes at jogarner.com. It's going to leave you with a quote from the Quote Corner from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Common sense is genius dressed in working clothes.
Love it, love it. And I also want to add, if anybody needs a home inspection, call me, mention Joe Garner's name, and I'll give you $100 off whatever package you want. Let's help me get Joe's ears a-burning, and call me at 901-413-3943. We'll be there for you. We'll make accommodations if needed. We're going to do a great job.
Now, that number again, if they want a home inspection and they want $100 off, you said they just mentioned my name,
All
Joe
they
Garner.
have to do is say Joe Garner. And I might say, oh, wrong number. No, we'll absolutely live up to that. I'll give you $100 off. 901-413-3943, Pillar to Post Home Inspector.
All right. So avoid those negative surprises. Make that smart decision with your home inspection, with your mortgage, and you will feel good for a very long time. Long after closing, you will know that you did the right thing, you did the smart thing. Not only that, but your family will know it too. So don't forget that. We thank you for hanging out with us on Real Estate Mortgage Shop. Connect with our podcast show notes at jogarner.com and call me if you have a question, 901-482-0354, jogarner.com. And John, one more time, how do we get you
One
for
more
home
time,
inspections?
901-413-3943.
All right, you guys have a fabulous weekend, and we will see you guys back next week.